Good afternoon. Welcome. It is 3:30 and it is Monday, October 30th, and you are live with Pat Mayer. I'm finally back live. It's been a long time. It's been since September 18th since I was able to do a live video for you. So let me know if you are here. Let me turn on something here. Hi, Shirley. Oh, welcome. It is so good to be back and doing something that I love to do. I hope I have all my connections right. I am dealing with new modem router, and not that it was actually the phone that was causing the problem, I don't think, but I do have a new phone. So it's just been kind of a crazy 6 weeks around here with travel and redoing some things in my house. So I am crossing my fingers and hoping that everything goes according to plan today. So let me go ahead and get started and welcome Gloria. Good to see you. Okay. If you saw my preview, I'm not sure what actually shows up when I set the recording, but I'm going to do a stack, cut and shuffle today with a twist, something a little bit different than what I did quite a long time ago. This will make 3 cards with a 6x6 pieces of paper, one on each, but there's literally no waste. So hello, Jane Bone, and welcome, and Sharon Williams, welcome. This is exciting. So I'm just going to kind of giggle all the way through this. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. And the stamp bundle that I'm going to use, let's see, let's flip down to my face or to my desktop here. There we go. Let me know if you can see my desktop. As again, I kind of had to relearn my setup and my connection here. I'm going to be using the Modern Garden Bundle, which is on page 54 of the mini catalog. This mini catalog goes through the end of December, so we still have 2 more months with it. I'm also going to be using this paper up here in the corner, and I'll talk about that in just a second. This is a multi-seasonal, thanks Gloria for letting me know, multi-seasonal stamp set, because we've got birthday, Christmas, so you could use this with any paper, and this paper is kind of flows over from one season to the next as well. Best wishes for future, so I guess that would be for wedding. It's kind of whimsical, but I really, really like it, and I think you will too. So that's that. And this is the stamp set and bundle. The oval, it's a modern, called the Modern Oval Punch. So it reminds me of an oval on a racetrack. It's not a circle. It's not the true oval that has the curve up here, but the curve at this side, if that makes any sense. So that's the punch, and this is the stamp set, and I've pretty much got everything pulled out that I'm going to be using. And this is the paper. I've already used quite a bit of it. I think I have another pack, but I didn't open it yet. But it has some beautiful florals, and I've got them all mixed up here. So let's get a couple of them back together. So it's kind of spring, summer, and then here we get into more fall. Oh dear. Oh, that's what's going to happen with the new phone, so I apologize for that. Hope that didn't mess things up. So I just got that downloaded today, and I have to change a setting on it. So anyway, here's another floral, more seasonal, looking like Christmas. And more seasonal here with the darker tones. And then on the back, we have some I guess you would call it just, let's see, that one's going the wrong way. Some little polka dots or dots, polka dots, stripes. So it all coordinates. And then these are the colors. Let's get these out. Calypso Coral, Garden Green, Mossy Meadow, Poppy Parade, Pretty Peacock, and Wild Wheat. And there's some things there that you probably wouldn't think would go together, but they do. And somehow I think I have shuffled in here the 3 pieces of paper that I was planning to use. So let me see if I can find them again. Let's see, I'm going to use that one and this one. What you need to figure out is if there's anything that's directional on your paper. You could do the same thing with a piece of 12 by 12 and cut it into 6 by 6 size. So that's how this is going to work. So first of all, we do want to stack them in no particular order, but get them on the sides that you're going to use first. So that are used, because we don't want to switch anything else over. Okay, so these are the 3 sides that I'm going to use. And let me grab my trimmer here. There's going to be a lot of trimming. And first of all, just make sure they're really stacked close. I want to come over to the 3 and make sure I get my numbers right here. 3 3/4 on the trimmer. And cut that. These 3 pieces are going to be used on the envelope flaps. So for now, I will set those aside. Then we have 1 inch that we're going to cut off at the top. And this will be a little strip that will go to help decorate the inside panel of the card. And since I'm using Poppy Parade for my card base, I will be using a piece of basic white to go on the inside. So that leaves us with a piece of paper that is 3 3/4 by 5, which is a perfect panel for the front of a card. But now we're going to cut it again twice with an angle. So this is totally up to however you want to do it. So anything would look good. So we're going to have this one. So it really doesn't make any difference. Just know that they need to stay together. So there's cut number 1 and set that aside. And then rotate these to another angle. And I have some samples to show you at the end, and none of them are the same. They all come out a little bit different because there's no rhyme or reason to the way you want to set these up. Okay, so there's our design. So let's grab our card bases. And this, I've chosen to use Poppy Parade because it's one of the brighter colors here, and I love Poppy Parade. It's probably my favorite red, more even than Real Red. So I've cut these as a top fold. So they're 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. Now let's go ahead and take care of the inside first. And these 3 pieces were cut, and you could put it at the top or the bottom. I kind of like them at the bottom. So what have y'all been doing for 6 weeks? I'm sure that you've been busy. We've gone basically since I left was still summer. On the 18th of September was my last one. I left town on the 22nd of September and flew to Texas, where my family lives, and was there for about 2 weeks, I guess. I don't know, 1.5 weeks, 2 weeks. Got to see my great-grandbaby a couple times because they live about an hour and a half away and have jobs and things that would only make it able to see them on the weekends. Or we did go one weeknight to see the little boy, and he's just so cute. He had just turned 2 in September, and see him in a tumbling class. Oh my gosh, if you could see 2-year-olds in a tumbling class, you would be amazed. They're so fun to watch. But it teaches them to learn how to follow directions and play with others. Okay, so we're taking care of the inside first. Yay, Nancy, you're here. Good to see you. And one more. Then I'll start putting the cards together and then do the envelope flaps. So there's literally no waste with this project. You get 3 cards and no waste. Just a tiny bit of trimming on the envelope flap. So then we drove back. Yes, we drove back in a van loaded with a new TV for Mom and a bed frame for Mom so that we could turn a room into a real guest room. Okay, I'm going to put one of the envelope flaps on here, then I'll do the other 2 later. That's all that needs to happen here, so you don't need to see me glue envelope flaps. And then what is left here is the only waste on this project. Let's see, hope I didn't get too much glue on there, but I've got it on my fingers already. Okay, grab some scissors. So it was really a fun visit. Having adult children is so much fun. We have a good time together, and it's fun to have them around. All right, that is the only waste on a piece of 6x6 paper. Right there. Everything else is going to get used. So that's envelope number 1. And then you don't need to see me put the others on there right now. So set that aside. Now it's time to do the front. And I have cut 3 pieces of basic white paper for the card panel And these are 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. If you don't like cutting in eighths, you could make it 4 1/4 by 5 1/4. But this gives just a tiny, like, 1/8 or 1/16 around the edge, and that's what works. So now it's time for the shuffle. So here's this one. I'm going to lay all 3 of them out first. Now I'll take this one, slide it behind, and take the next one. And these are going to butt up against each other here. And then you get that edge around there. Now these 2 are going to go in the back. So here's this one. Okay, so there's one. Of course, they're going to get unarranged for a second. And now they should be in the order that I want. This one, this one, and this one up here. And then number 3. So these go together very fast. And they're fun. And then we'll do some decorating. So let's go ahead and start with this one. Now I was doing, yesterday afternoon, I actually did a recorded video in case things weren't going to work today. And I ended up having to unglue something. Now the liquid glue does give you some wiggle room. So I'm using the wiggle room glue for this. And I think I can show you the card that I did. I'm not sure, but I'm going to add a little twist to this one too. Okay, so let's add some glue. And don't go overboard with glue. You know, you don't have to use as much as you think you do. So once you get the first one down, and that's the largest one, then I think we're all going to come together. Yeah. And then this one. Okay, there is some sticky here, and let me grab my got a little piece of an adhesive eraser. I wish we still carried these. It comes in a big square. I think this is like a 1/4 of it. And you can order them on Amazon. But how many times do you need to get adhesive off of something? So that part needs to get done. Okay. And sometimes I think it's easier if I go in this direction. So let's turn this one this way. See if I can get it lined up a little bit better and a little bit faster. So you don't have to sit there and watch me glue forever. but I think that's a little bit easier. Whatever works for you. I think doing it on the horizontal is a little bit easier. So here we are on the 30th of October. Tomorrow is, let's see, now I got them mixed up here. Here we go. Tomorrow is Halloween. We already had Halloween trick-or-treat in my neighborhood on Saturday, which I didn't participate in. I thought it was a little bit later. I did have some Tootsie Pops here, but by the time I looked outside, it was, kids were already going down the street. We have the removers in our, yeah, oh, they are in the Dollar Tree? I will have to check there, because that's a good thing to have in your stash. There, that goes a lot easier for me if I do this on landscape or the horizontal. So anyway, do you do trick or treat or just set a bowl of stuff out? I did see a lot of kids go down the street, and it was a nice evening. I think it was a little bit drizzly, but certainly not like it's going to be tomorrow night. There are a few neighborhoods that do trick-or-treat on the actual trick-or-treat day, which is the 31st. But Akron does it on the Saturday, the last Saturday of the month. And then guess what's coming up? Next week, this time, we will be back to standard time. And I'm not really looking forward to that, but it takes a while to get used to that going back again. But at least we'll have the daylight better in the morning and just get used to the darkness at night. Okay, there we go. All right, there they are. Now, time to decorate. Now, if you don't have any direction on your cards or on your paper, you could make these go as a top fold. But since I've already got these as a top fold this direction, I'm not going to do that this way. That one is a little bit crooked, but whatever. But let me show you, if something doesn't come out right, you need to take one of those pieces of paper off. This is a technique that I just really like to do. And since this actually looks more like a quilt, let's pull in the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Thank you, Shirley. And I'm going to use a 3D embossing folder called Time Worn Type, and for that I need plate 1, the embossing folder, and I love how they've got a line at the bottom so that you can line things up so it's not crooked. Okay, that end in first, and then plate 4 and slide it through. Now, this not only gives it a nice texture, but it also embeds that texture in there, and your glue is going to stick. So do you like that way? Yep, and it's stuck there. Or just the plain? Which do you like better? I know you can't see it too well here on the screen. I think I'm going to do all 3 of them. So since I've got this up here on my table and it goes pretty fast. So it's a good way to use your embossing folders and your designer paper. And one more. I feel like I'm running out of space here. I don't know if you can see everything. So again, plate 1, your embossing folder with your paper inside, and plate 4. Okay. Now let's decorate. Yes, I do like them embossed, and you can really feel that on there. It's not too texturized, but it really makes a nice look. Thanks, Sharon, for making that comment. Okay, so here we go. I have already punched out, I think these are going to be birthday cards, by the way, because it doesn't really lend itself to Christmas. So I'm not going to use it as a wedding card. So I've got, it's your birthday. On the inside, you could put enjoy your special day. Of course, you could always get any sentiment stamp set that you have. So this is the Modern Oval Punch. I already have one of these done, and that's going to go here. And I've stamped and cut out some of the floral images from this. So let's find some ribbon. And this is the Calypso Coral, what is it called? Hemp ribbon, 100% hemp, yes. And it's just a nice flat ribbon, so it's not going to cause a lot of problems going through the mail. Let's add some adhesive back here, and I'm just going to, let's see how many inches this would be. I've got my centimeter side pulled up here. So whatever 28 centimeters is, I don't know that. So let's measure that. So it's about 11 inches of ribbon or twine to go on the back of this, and you can just kind of twist that around. And then snip it off. Do you have separate snips or scissors for ribbon? I find that these scissors that I have marked with this little thing here, I use just for paper, and when I try to cut ribbon, it doesn't work. So I have another pair of snips just for ribbon. Now, we used to have these amazing ribbon cutting scissors that I still have, and that's all they've ever cut is ribbon. But having a pair of snips does just the same thing. All right, so I've already added a little piece of dimensional back here. So let's put another dimensional on the back of the flower. And on the back of this, let's see, I think it needs another one down here just to secure that ribbon. And there we go. And now let's add some adhesive to this. And one thing's for sure, don't ever let anybody touch your ribbon scissors, right, Jane? All right, there is card number 1. That's complete. I don't know how that little bit of blackness got there, but it did. And where did the envelope go for this one? It's somewhere. I don't know where it went. Okay. Let's move that out of the way. Okay. Now I've got some others cut out. Thanks, Nancy. I didn't think that you wanted to watch me cut all of these flowers out. So we've got this one, and this is a cute little stem here that I'm using. Let's see, Mossy Meadow. That's one of the colors in here. So these are going to look a little bit alike. And let's just add some adhesive to that back of that one. And the It's Your Birthday is probably not going to fit on there. Let's see. Yeah, it'll go. It'll go pretty good. Because you can always cut out your sentiment and cut it into pieces. Yes, Jane, you will need that punch, right? It's very versatile. Okay, the It's doesn't look so good on there. So let's do, don't like that. We'll leave the birthday the way it is. And then pop up, I think I've got a little half dimensional here, and pop up the It's Your. So little things you can do when something just doesn't look the way it's supposed to. And here's your. A little bit too long on there. So it just adds a little bit more dimension to your card. And let's see, on this one, I'm making a mess. Okay, I think I will go ahead and put a separate bow on this one. So let's make it a little bit different. Tie a little bow. Okay, pop that up. Almost done. And I think what I want to do is kind of slide that underneath. Okay, a little bit too much. Okay, we'll just do it like that. And it will stay on with some glue. Sometimes I struggle with bows, and where they look good, I just don't like to put a bow on everything. It's not that I have trouble tying a bow. That's probably why I have so much ribbon left over at the end of a Stampin' Up! Year, because I buy the ribbon and I don't always use it. Okay, let's put this one on a card base. So there's number 1, number 2, and here's number 3, and I've got a variety of flowers on here, and I need another November birthday. So let's do this in I think I'll do this one. Well, I was going to do it in Calypso Coral, but it fell on the floor. Just pushed it right off of there. So let's do this one in Pretty Peacock. Something a little bit different. There we go. And let's just add some glue at the bottom of this. And the bottom of that one. And then one more. So you didn't have to watch me cut all these out. We'll put that on with a dimensional. And then pop the whole thing up. Sometimes I go overboard with dimensionals because you can never have too many. There are a lot of them in a package. There we go. And add this, and then there'll be one more thing. So get out that 6x6 paper that you've been hoarding or haven't used and make some stack, cut, and shuffle cards. Let's add some bling to this one. And there happen to be some pearls on top, so let's put some pearls on this one. And add that to the centers of the flowers. And we're good to go. So here we go. 3 pretty cards made with 3 pieces of paper. So it's your birthday. Somebody's going to get one of these. Somebody I know has a birthday this week, so the card's going to be late. Sorry, Nancy. That's my usual. So anyway, let me show you some other samples. I've been making a lot of these. One I did with different paper. Let's see, where are these? Now, here was one that I messed up on the piece of paper here, and I glued down the wrong side. So I just left it blank and put the It's Your Birthday there in the middle. So where there's a mistake, you just take care of it with something else. Okay, here's another one. They probably do look a little bit alike. This is one that I did with different paper. This is 12 by 12 paper. Cut it into 6 by 6 and then just shuffled those, and also used a different punch. All worked out the same. So here I had a direction, so I made sure that this went up and down when I cut the paper. So they're very easy to put together. Oh goodness. Here's a thank you that I used from a different stamp set. And here was another one. So I've got lots and lots of cards with these. They've been so much fun to make. Just shuffle them up and you're good to go. So that does it for today. Next week we will be into November. It's probably time to start making some Christmas cards. So I will have to see what I can come up with. And for the first time in a very long time, I never saw anything come up with potential freezing or a problem with my internet. So hopefully I have turned the corner on all the problems with my lives, and I hope that was the same for you too. So take care. Have a great rest of the week. Stay warm. It's going to get cold here. I heard the word snow in the forecast. So I hope that's not where you are too. So see you next